So you acknowledged that you texted Travis Deane that your boyfriend Stephen had hit you, correct?
I said that in the message.
You said that in the message. Now, you also said... Sure.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Who's in the corner? Biggest guy. Seriously.
That wasn't fair. That's the way we do it.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Now, that's not the only comment you make in this series of text messages, right? Let's go through them if I can. Let's look at the first one. It's the one that begins, there's no timestamp, but it begins, well, about the head of Stevens, I guess. Do you see that? Okay. At the time you wrote this message, well, about to head to Stevens, I guess, having a party there, I guess, so I'll talk to you later, have a good night, hubby. Were you intoxicated at that point?
No.
He writes back, have fun. Later, you write him at 2:53 a.m. At 2:53 a.m., were you intoxicated?
Yes.
Okay. How much had you had in that night? Apparently. Okay, and you write, hey, what are you doing? He responds, driving to the jail, what's up? You state, honestly, I might need you to come get me. You see that?
Yeah.
Was that a true statement?
Yeah.
Okay, so you meant to write that, right?
Yeah.
You might need him to come pick you up, correct?
I was looking for a ride.
So that statement was accurate, you needed to write home.
Yeah.
You intended to write that.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you need to write home?
Because I had gotten in a fight in a different car.
Okay. You got in a fight with Stephen. Now, was he punching holes in the walls?
Yeah.
Okay, so that part of these text messages is accurate too, correct?
Yeah.
Now, how tall are you, ma'am?
I don't know.
About 5'4" or so? And is Stephen bigger than you?
He's living
How much is he weigh? Would you say he's
Can you speak up? I'm sorry. Can you speak up just a little bit? Because I think the board members are having trouble hearing you.
is he would you describe him to be a strong man?
He's not very big.
Okay. Well, if he wanted to, he could hurt you. Would that be fair to say?
Anybody could.
Okay. Now, would it be fair to say that you wanted to leave because you were in fear for your safety?
He wasn't here, I just wanted to go home.
Well, Stephen, you and Nick was punching holes in the walls, yeah?
Yeah.
And he was yelling at you?
Yeah.
And at one point, he grabbed you by the shoulders?
Because he didn't want me to go.
Okay, but he still grabbed you by the shoulders, right?
Yeah.
You didn't ask him to do that, right?
No.
Okay. And he was doing it to prevent you from leaving the house, right?
Yes.
Okay. And was he yelling at you during this incident where he was holding you?
Yeah, because he didn't want me to go.
Okay. And you weren't afraid at that point?
There was other people at the house I had nothing to be scared of.
You had nothing to be scared of because there were other people at the house. If that's the case, ma'am, why did you want to leave?
Because I didn't want to be around somebody that I was in a fight with.
You don't want to be around somebody who is somebody who you're in a fight with. Okay. Now, any reason you called a sheriff's deputy to come and get you?
Because I thought he was my friend. And I had called everybody else and it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Isn't it true you called the sheriff's deputy because he might be able to come and get you out and minimize the risk of the situation becoming more problematic? Sort of confuse the
so I could
situation?
just go home.
Okay. Now, you write, after he writes, you write, honestly, I might need you to come get me. He writes, how soon? You write, I don't know, I might have to have someone to come get me. I'll let you know we had a huge fight. We got in a huge fight. That much was true, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you meant to write that part, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, let me know, I can also have another deputy pick you up if I'm not back yet. You write, okay, thank you so much, I don't know what to do. He left and has no phone. He has no phone. You're referring to Stephen, right?
Yeah.
He's punched holes in the wall and then left. And you've already agreed he did punch holes in the car, in the wall, correct?
Yeah.
And so everything you said in that text message is true, right? And you intended to write that, correct? Okay. Now, next you write, okay, thank you so much. I don't know what to do. He left and he has no phone and punched holes in the wall and left. That's the same message, I apologize. Next message. Did you write? Yeah, I know. He, meaning Stephen, has been drinking, so he's acting psycho. Did you mean to write that?
I'm assuming I meant to write all of this at the time.
Okay, you meant to write all of this.
I guess, I don't know why.
You meant to write that he was a psycho. Or acting like a psycho.
I guess.
Okay. You also meant to write that he hit me.
I wrote all of it. It's clearly there. I don't know why I wrote it, but I did.
Okay, well, why did you write that he was acting like a psycho? Was he acting like a psycho?
She just answered, she doesn't know why she wrote it all. I think we're beyond relevance at this point because this part of this incident or this investigation is not why he was fired.
And you've asked that question about 6 times and she's answered yes each time.
No, ma'am. I don't believe she's answered yes each time. But I'm at the board's mercy. If you ask
I
more
can't
questions at this
prove she
point.
said yes, I'm just reading her lips. I can't hear.
That's funny. So at the point you sent this text message to Travis Deane, you knew he was a deputy sheriff, right?
Yeah.
And you knew he was a sworn law enforcement officer.
Yes.
And you knew that he had the power to effect arrests.
Yes.
And you knew that by telling him that Stephen hit you, that he might take that rather seriously. Would that be fair to say?
If he was that worried about me that night, I don't know why he wouldn't have done something then.
My question, ma'am, with all due respect, is that you knew that he was a sheriff's deputy at the time you sent the message, and you knew that he might take action based upon the information you put in your message, didn't you? You didn't think he would?
Obviously, I don't know why I wrote it.
Well, did Stephen hit you?
No.
But he did punch holes in the wall, and he was acting like a psycho.
Well, to me, punching holes in walls is crazy.
Okay. So the only thing you don't know why you wrote was that he hit you. I mean, that's very unambiguous. He hit me. There's no gray there. Would you agree?
Okay.
Well, look at the next text message. You wrote, I'm sorry for bugging you. He writes, darling, you never bug me. You're my wifey, you never a bother. And if you tell me just a little bit, I'll put his ass in jail tonight. You see that?
Yeah.
And it seems like in your next text message, you had the presence of mind to backtrack a little bit. You say, oh, okay, well, I'm on the way home right now. I don't know what he did. Were you concerned at that point that Mr. Deane might try to investigate what you said in the previous email about Stephen DeHut hitting you?
Or meaning, I don't know what he did because he left. I don't know what I meant.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's talk about another series of text messages that you sent to Mr. Deane. This one is showed to you by opposing counsel on direct examination. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll concede that you wrote this text message. You were angry with Mr. Deane, correct?
I was upset.
You weren't? You agree with her you were angry. Now you're telling me you were
Well,
really upset?
angry and upset, yes.
Okay, very good. Now, and you were angry because you were fearful that you would lose your relationship with Stephen because of it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were worried like that you would lose your friends. Why were you worried that you would lose your friends? Were they indicating they weren't happy with you in some form or fashion?
Well, we were together for a while, so we had a lot of mutual friends.
Okay. All right. and you tell him that you pretty much ruin my life in general. Is that what you're feeling at that point?
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Deane writes back, "I'm sorry things are shitty. I'm sorry that you think that's what I wanted to do to happen, because it's not. I did my job as I'm obligated to, as I'm sworn to. If you hate me because of it, so be it." And then roughly 3 hours go by, and this photo of the patrol car with the cups on top of it appears on Mr. Deane's phone from you. You acknowledge that was sent by your phone.
Yes.
Now, what did you call your boyfriend?
In the message?
What did you call Stephen? Did you call him Stephen?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you testified that you meant to send that message to Mr. Stephen DeHutt, right?
Yeah.
And that you accidentally sent to Travis Deane because of the similarity in their last names, correct?
I have everybody in my phone as their first and last name.
Okay. But you expect us to believe that when looking up Stephen's number,
I don't expect
excuse me,
that.
let me answer the question. You expect us to believe that in sending a message to your boyfriend of many months, that you would have used his last name to identify his number and attach a photo to it?
I don't know what you're going to believe. I said it was an accident.
Wouldn't you have used, ma'am, his first name to look up his phone number so you could attach the photo to it? You, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I'll let you answer my question. Wouldn't you have used Stephen's first
Yeah, I
name?
guess, but I said it was an accident.
So you accidentally put in, you meant to send to Stephen and use his first name. In sending the message, we've actually typed in DE.
I guess. I don't know what I typed in.
So you recognize, ma'am, that the first two letters of his first name are ST, and the first two letters of his last name are DE. Do you have very poor typing skills?
Objection, Ms. Badger, the witness, she's explained best she can why she sent it. And no, it doesn't matter how many times he asked how she sent it to the wrong person, she's not gonna change her testimony.
She said, I don't know, several times, and there's more than just typing in the letters to send the message on the phone. You can just hit your address book. So they may have been together in her address
Is the
book.
board testifying now?
No.
Are you under oath? Because I can put you up here.
I